morning, afternoon, or evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the season finale of AFR season number 7. My name is Mikhail, and joining me in a couple moments' time will be Mr. Sebastian, as always, as we take you through this epic title decider here in Yas Marina this evening. Two drivers remain at the top, Cat ahead of Pepsi for the first time in the entire season by a whopping 10 points after Shanghai last week, and Pepsi leading the championship all throughout has struggled, who will be decided as the tier 2 champion for season number 7. And they will be dueling this evening on the Yas Marina circuit now on your screens, ladies and gentlemen. 5.5 kilometers, 21 corners, 2 very long DRS zones between, in that middle sector of the lap. A very technical track, of course, pre-modifications that were introduced last Formula 1 season. But nonetheless, we have seen some great racing, both in Tier 3 and 1 just gone by. And I'm sure that this title decider will be just as intense as all the others that have taken place here over the past few years. Of course, looking at both real life and here at AFR. In AFR's history, we have the title decider for the Tier 1 drivers title 2 seasons ago between Matt Dabry and Potsy. And as well as there being quite a few other title deciders in the past that elude me at the moment. We should just about be getting ready to get things underway, and I can't wait to see exactly, no one knows exactly how this is going to turn out at the end of 28 intense laps, but joining me for all the fun, like always, it's Seb, who's finally back from whatever he was doing. Seb.
Oh,
it's about to get real.
Fourth title decider. It goes down to the final race in AFR. First one, season 1 between Band and Pacey. The next one we had Tier 2, season 4, I believe, between the two Red Bull teammates. Matt Davry, Ali. Next one, Potsy, Matt Davry. Tier 1, season 5, and now we got Tier 2, season 7, Mick. Final race. It's gonna be exciting.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's gonna really be something else for this one. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, the equation is, if Pepsi is able to gain 10 points of AutoCat and time on total points, then he will be the championship, or he will win the championship, on countback, Mick. He will have either more wins, more P2s, more P3s, more P4s, or more P5s than AutoCat will.
Yes, at the moment they are tied on countback, going all the way down to 4th place, I believe.
Yeah, and AutoCat has a P5, Pepsi doesn't, but Pepsi has a P6 and AutoCat doesn't. So that's the correction there, but Pepsi finishes P5, doesn't get a fastest lap, AutoCat doesn't score points, and Pepsi's the champion because he has a P6 and AutoCat does not.
How does that affect you as a driver mentally, Seb? One last chance for 7-8 months of dedication of work towards this very moment. Surely both of these drivers are going to be feeling the nerves.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of work going into one season. One thing these two can bet on is chances are they'll both be promoted into Tier 1. You'd think that, but you want the big one, don't you? You want that chip. You want P1 in that championship after fighting so long for it.
No one ever remembers who finishes second, Seb. No one ever remembers who finishes second. It's all about the glory. Speaking of glory, Defined is getting quite a bit of it because it's failing to load into the session for whatever reason. But here we go. Finally. And hopefully it's going to be clear skies for this race. While it's improbable to rain at Abu Dhabi, it has happened before.
One time I've seen it.
Once, yeah. Not very often, but it has happened. Just get things set up on our end. So, the Yas Island circuit, 5.5 kilometers, a whopping 21 corners, Seb. Quite a few village chicanes that this may be the last time that we are racing around them.
I think it should be, with the new layout, which was in effect this season, but we didn't get a chance to actually see it in the game. I think 100% we will be seeing that come next season. Bully first car out on track, Mick, and the final race, final night of Season 7 is underway here in Tier 2.
For those who may be just joining us, welcome to the final race of AFR Season 7. It is the Tier 2 division here at Aussie Formula Racing. Season finale in Abu Dhabi. My name is Mikhail. Joining me is Seb, your resident Tier 3 champion, sitting not quite beside me, but with me in the commentary box. So, very experienced. Also, congratulations again. Wrapping that up.
I think I'm underneath you in the voice channel.
Well, that's because it'd be sorted alphabetically, would it not?
Yeah. Not the first time it's happened.
Ooh, and Bully
Fun
doing
already.
an interesting warm-up strategy. Getting a lot of temperature in those rears, because you do need them nice and warm and sticky. A lot of pretty critical traction zones, which we'll go through in a few moments' time.
They do overheat here in Abu Dhabi. That's so technical. Last sector literally takes up half the corners on the track, or just about takes up 10 of them from turn 11 to turn 21. And those tires will be screaming for help by the end of that last sector. By the end of the lap, really. So it's important you keep them around that 85, 88 degree core temperature. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see some toes come out here tonight, Mick.
Well, it's that time again, Seb. Bully's about to start. Take us around a lap of the Yaz Island circuit with the Ferrari.
On board now. Get this car to the right, hit that 100-meter board. You're braking and turning in around that Rolex sign. You want to clip that inside curb, use that outside curb, turn 2. Be careful of these inside curbs of turn 2 and 3. It is dropped it. So we'll drop back to Pepsi. So he's just started his lap. There we go.
Pick up right where we left off.
Curb. Yeah, a lot of outside curb. You can kind of get away with that inside curb at turn 2, but not for turn 3. Got to be very careful with your steering input through turn 4. Open it up now. Turn 5. Hit the inside curb. Both 5 and 6. Get that car over to the right for 7. Brake and late apex so you can unwind the car and get a good slingshot all the way down to turn 8 on this first DRS straight. DRS open. Get that car around about a third of the way to the right hand side of the track, because the track moves over to the left. As you see under that little sign, electric sign. Now you're braking just 400 meters, 105 meters. Curb, get it to the left, open up turn 9. Plant the throttle down as we go through turn 10 into the second and final DRS zone on this track. One of the major overtaking opportunities. See a lot of battling from turn 8 to turn 11. Here it is. Double chicane, I should say. Smash those curbs. Surprise you on the not on the mediums, Mick, because, well, this is a soft, medium, soft track. And you do want a fresh pair of softs come the end of the race. Nevertheless, final overtaking zone right there. Turn 17, a bit of a shaky moment. Now through turn 18, he's gone a bit wide. That's very lazy from what was the championship leader the whole way through the season until China, Mick. Final corner now, early apex, get that car outside, straight line it to the line at 35.6. Alright start, a lot of time in there, King J 36.1, but Pepsi will have to go again.
Yep, invalidating his lap between turns 18 and 19. Trying to open up 19 a bit too much, Seb, on that occasion. His rival Undercat on an outlap at the moment, going down towards the chicane of turns 8 and 9. Vasa goes to the top of the timing charts with 36.0. Kalios, he's found the grass at turn 5. Not sure exactly what he's doing there. Might have had a little bit of a spin, which we saw a lot of the Tier 3 drivers struggling with, particularly during the race. That turns 2, 3, and 4, where the rear just gives out on you.
Gets light on you. It's one of those corners you can't. It's very, in qualifying you can easily flat line it as long as I say before, you don't hit that inside curb of turn 3. You just kind of balance the car through it, but you can only really do it flat for the first 2 laps of a fresh set of tires before you will spin. You can't hold your way through turn 3. Very hard corner. It's very deceptive as well. It gets quite tight on you as it becomes turn 4, that little left-hander, before you get to that first chicane of the track, turn 5 and 6. Then you got that hairpin of 7. Undercat now starting his lap. This is a big lap. This sets up your night. Fine, Diz disqualified from the session, and we'll only have 17 runners for the rest of the session. We are missing an Alfa Romeo and an Alpine. I believe Actually, no. We're missing a Red Bull because Mr. Spicer is in the wrong car, Mick.
Yep, Mr. Spicer. Perhaps it might be an omen to his car choice next season. Who knows? Nemo, top of the time in charts, first time to the 135s. Clownfish looking quite competitive today. But it's all about this man, Andocat, finally taking the lead of the championship after 3 straight wins. And there's been, ever since the retirement of...
Belgium.
Yeah, of Belgium.
Bahrain.
Been pretty much on it.
Yeah, Bahrain, he had that retirement. That's, I think, believe what you're going to say. But he's scored in every race he has competed in since then. USA, Mexico don't count. Will broke. But he was able to claw back, and all momentum goes towards him. 3 wins on the trot, as you said, and 2 purple first and second sectors.
Really attacking that Mickey Mouse section at the start of the 3rd sector. Decent exit out of turn 14. Now this right 15, 16. This very tricky break zone. Very easy to lock that front right going into 17. He's gone slightly deep. Holds 3rd gear underneath the hotel. Getting as close as he can to that barrier. You could just see from the onboard camera how close he's really just pushing the extremities of the track. But through the final corner now, this is looking like a good lap, Seb. This is what he needs to secure the championship, a 1:35.0 banker. And that is absolutely rapid. 8.5 tenths faster than Nemo. And Pepsi doesn't even have a time on the board yet.
And keep in mind, Pepsi's time earlier on in the session invalidated. It was a 35.6 that Pepsi did. Whole 6 tenths off. Andocat in a league of his own in the past month, Mick.
He's ready for tier 1, Seb. He is ready for tier 1. Bandcamp, 6th place, 36.3. You were saying?
Question about his aggression throughout the middle of the season, his tactics sometimes, but he's showing the pace that means he deserves to be in the upper echelon of AFR. If he continues going about his business as he has past 3 races, and he's shown so far through 8 minutes of qualifying, watch out.
I have another little interesting stat for you, Seb. Talk about the 3 race wins on the trot. Ando could make it 4. And from my knowledge, that would make him the first driver to win 4 races in a row since Revo was here.
It's quite a stat.
A lot of drivers have gotten 3. I've gotten 3 a couple of times. Fever's gotten 3. Potsy's gotten 3 multiple times. But no one has gotten 4 in a row since Revo retired midway through Season 5.
That is quite a stat. Could be for multiple reasons. Could be he's gotten a lot faster. And I think Andocat has, compared to where he was at the start of the season to where he is now. He's certainly picked up the pace. Another one could be the rest of the field might just not be evolving as much as him. Comes down to also Andocat developing as a driver. But multiple factors in that. And I think one of them is Pepsi's lack of a better term, lackluster performances in Austria and China.
Yeah, you wouldn't really want to associate those drives with his championship campaign, because it was looking so dominant at the start of things. Like, it was absolutely insane. And then it sort of just dropped off. Maybe got a bit complacent as Nemo's gone around at the hairpin. That's him done for qualifying. Best he can hope for is 3rd place, as Dalek is in 2nd at the moment. 1:35.6. Currently watching Keeper on his first flying lap. Going through that fairly tricky 3rd sector. Now, you said before how technical this 3rd sector is. Do you think it's more or less technical with the changes that they made last year?
Oh, I think the new changes make the track a lot less technical. When you think about turn 20, I can't remember what corner that becomes now with the new track, but that is a flat out corner. You know, you're opening up a lot of these corners, meaning you don't have to swing the car over as much. You can carry some more speed. You don't have to braking as much. You can kind of throw the car in and expect it to grip because you've got a little bit more downforce going with the car. I think with the new changes, it's making the track a lot easier, which is a good thing, but there's, that change at turn 11, 12, 13, 14, the start of sector 3, the double chicane and the left-hander, I think that long left-hander is a bit too easy.
I think that's
it becomes turn 9, I believe. Yeah, you drop 2 corners, 5 and 6, turn 7 becomes 5, turn 8, that becomes turn 9. I think what will become turn 9 in the next game, I think that's just a bit too easy. I think they should have had turn 11 as was, and then straight line that all the way to, you know, the other side where turn 14 was, and then just have about 100-degree left-hander to set up 15, or what will be, I think, 11, 12, and 13.
Something like that.
I don't know. We'll see next season.
We'll get there when we get there. Kalios coming across the line just a few moments ago. 35.7. Combat Rat 35.5 in the Williams. Himself on that front row, but still no one even close to getting to Andocat's time. Vassar crossing 35.701 at the exact same time as Kalios, Seb, for 4th and 5th. That is, you don't see that very often.
You don't. I think it hasn't happened often in real life. Our final, but the most famous one was Perez, 97 championship decider.
Yeah.
Schumacher, I think Frentzen and Villeneuve.
Yep. Not in that order, though.
Yeah.
Villeneuve, Schumacher, Frentzen.
Yep. Quite remarkable.
Polo Pepsi on an outlap with only just under 6 minutes left in the session. He's really leaving this late. So I don't know about this. He's giving himself a lot of work to do. He needs to put in at least a decent lap. He needs to be in those front 2 rows to even have a shot at catching Andocat at this rate.
You're not wrong. This is prime time for Pepsi. He's got to make it count now. I think he's pushing a bit too hard in this outlap, man. I'm not sure about you, but I think these tyres might be gone by the time he gets to turn 7.
Well, he needs to make sure he's able to make it back to the pits for a 3rd attempt, because otherwise this could be it for his championship.
I honestly don't think he will, Mick. I don't think he can.
He's leaving it pretty late. He's gotten a lot of heat in those tyres. We'll see if it's too much heat.
My money's on too much, Mick.
We'll see how he handles that 3rd sector through turn 1 now. Just keeping it nice and easy. Car looks like it's working nicely through the first bit of the lap. I do believe Andocat is also on a flying lap at in the middle of sector 3. I think that's where he is. He might be the one on the first DRS zone. But I think he's about to finish. Pepsi a little lock up into turn 7.
He is about to finish, Mick. I can confirm.
The Ferrari
he does have that chance to do a final run.
Yeah, Andocat does, but I honestly don't know if he'll need it. Save a set of tyres for the race. Pepsi, it's looked okay, but it hasn't looked spectacular, Seb, so far.
I think that comes with how hard he was pushing on the outlap. He has to pit. He does have a purple 2nd sector, though.
We'll see if that's
I don't know about it, Mick.
Yeah, we know that Cody's like to be very generous with the purple middle sectors, just to give the drivers a bit of a morale boost. Feel like they're absolutely flying. It's all about what the stopwatch says at the end of the lap. Through the hotel section, into turn 19. Again, it's getting very close to those walls, trying to use every little centimeter of the track to his disposal through 21. What's the time going to be? It is a front row, but it's still 2 and a bit tenths off of Andocat, and that is going to be his qualifying done. He's not going to get around in time.
No, he won't, and that is severely disappointing. I'm not sure he could get beaten here, Mick. I think worst case scenario for him would be starting P2, but I think what he's just done, not pitting in and going for one more run, instead staying out and doing a 35.2, not sure it's enough.
Mr. Spicer, currently the only driver on a flying lap. He's making his way down towards turn 8. As there's just about 2.5 minutes remaining in this session. It's the calm before the storm, Seb. And we'll see just how much of a storm these drivers are able to brew with that sweet, sweet track evolution.
Track evolution is very key in maximising time. Sometimes drivers do push a bit too much. And that sweet spot can be when Pepsi was doing his lap, but as we were seeing, he was just pushing too hard. I don't think those tyres were cool enough to be able to sustain a decent speed and grip level through the final half of that last sector.
Mr. Spicer looks like it's been a pretty decent lap. His teammate currently 7th at 35.8 after unfortunately retiring a little earlier on in the session. But what can the Alpine disguised as a Red Bull do? It's 3rd place. 135.516, 600ths faster than Combat Rat in the Williams. I think that's just a testimony to how gripped up, how rubbered in this track is at the moment, Seb. These times are going to tumble, and they are going to tumble fast.
Very much going to tumble fast. That being said, we don't know what the quality of these laps that have been put on the board that are close to Pepsi are. Combo Rat 35.5, he could improve. Same with Dalek, same with Vasa, Kalios. Don't know how much potential is there for improvement. King J might be able to pull a surprise out of somewhere. Even Zay hasn't set a lap time. Very tough for the Ferrari driver right now.
King J on his final run as there's just under 60 seconds remaining in the session in the final qualifying session of AFR Season 7. It's been a long, long season starting all the way back in, what was it, August? Last year. It's been a long road and it's all coming down to this. The Haas going into the hotel section, which actually looks stunning at night. But definitely not affordable if you want to stay. Oh, you can see how close the Haas is. They all get so close to that wall at the exit of turn 19 and get a bit worried, Seb, after what we've seen happen there in the past. But King J, only good enough for 8th, slots in right behind his teammate with only 10 seconds to go.
Only 10 seconds to go. And we got Combo Rat on a lap. Same with Dalek. I believe Mika as well as Anokat. Anokat just starting that final sector right about now. Saxo jumps into P11. Psycho going across the line. He goes to P4.
Psycho with a strong qualifying performance once more. Next,
5/10 there, Mick. Sorry, 5/10 there. Big sign. Big sign.
Next across the line will be Combat. Oh, he's just lost it at turn 19. But luckily, he's off the track. Through, that was Ando who was flying by. Is he going to be able to improve into the 134s? Yes, he is. 134.7. He didn't need to do that.
Zay. He didn't need to, but look out for Zay.
Oh, yeah, let's see. Zay in the
might be a
Red
tad
Bull.
slower.
Through the final corner. He goes 3rd, the Red Bull Reserve. Amazing effort. Next, Bandcamp, turn 20. What's caught your eye, Seb?
Dalek was up through 18, goes wide on the entry to 19, and it's just dropped it. Lost his front wing. Pepsi will hold on.
Well, I'm sorry to say, but that is it. Qualifying is done for the season, Seb. And it's Andercat on pole position.
And we have a front row bout between our two championship leaders, championship rivals. 10 points of difference, Mick. All Pepsi needs is 10 points gained on Anokat.
You say that's all he needs, but that's actually a fair bit.
It's a chunk, considering where Anokat is and that gap.
Yeah, 5.5 tenths between our two title contenders. Anokat ahead of Pepsi for the start of the final race. Zay and the Red Bull will line up on that second row of the front row seats. And Kalios will line up alongside Mr. Spicer and Psycho on the third row. The two Williams lock out the fourth row with Combat Rat ahead of the reserve of Dalek. Vassar and King J round out the top 10 with the back 8. Nemo, Bandcamp, Mika, Saxo, Nut, Keeper, Bully, and unfortunately Defiant is getting disqualified. Pretty early on in the qualifying, the Mercedes reserve will start at the back of this grid. Man, this can't set up a better show.
It could.
Whatever awaits us is going to be historic in the history of AFR.
What Pepsi needs right now is a get me up. You will not like seeing first off P2, and
Secondly, plus
second off
5, plus
plus
0.54.
0.5 exactly. To be honest, with how that qualifying went, I don't think he'd be too mad, but got some work to do. He needs to put Andokat in a position where he can get other drivers behind him to capitalize, and hopefully he could become champion. For Andokat, well, it's just about keeping clean. If Andokat finishes P2, he is without a doubt wrapped up this championship. So all Andokat needs to do is secure those top 2 spots. With the way it's looking right now, I think he can do it, Mick.
He most absolutely certainly can. I mean, let's just look at his past form. You're only as good as your last race, and he did pretty well in that one, I heard.
What was it? P1 pole position and fastest lap?
Something like that, yeah.
Nearly led every lap as well of that race. So it's a sign. Pepsi could have had P2. We could be looking at a very different championship situation. We could be looking at 8 points to Pepsi. Sorry, a lead to
We
Pepsi.
could. We could.
Instead, Pepsi drops it out of turn 4 of China, and we now have a 10-point lead to Andokat.
Here we go. The final formation lap. 28 laps of pure, intense racing. Let's have a look at the tyres at the moment for the back 8. We have 3 medium runners at the back of things. Nemo in 11th, Saxa 14th, and Bully in 17th. Predicted pit stop strategy, the 2 stops, soft, medium, medium. And I dare say that a lot of these drivers will be using 2 sets of softs. It's the 2 title contenders, Andokat, Pepsi, on that front row. We saw how that went with Lewis and Max. That inside line for turn 1. If Pepsi's able to get the launch, it's not quite over. Say.
Happened in tier 1 as well. Big Al got an excellent launch on FIBA alongside into turn 1, takes the corner. But just on those tyres, if you look where Mika and Bully are, P13, P17. Mika on the soft tyres, Bully on the medium. So Bully playing the long game. Mika pit around lap 8-ish, playing the short game. But what this does mean is that Mika could come into equation here and help Andokat out if he does decide to stay out a little bit longer, maybe change up his strategy. Because the soft tyres do last a long time. The only issue with them is that they die out very quickly and you lose a lot of pace compared to fresher tyres around the grid.
Yeah, we'll see what they want to do. Of course, Aston Martin wrapping up the Constructors' Championship last week in Shanghai. So congratulations to those 2. But it's the drivers that everyone wants. That's where the glory is. See what these drivers have to deliver us. So they make their way through the hotel section on their formation lap. The anticipation is killing me, so.
Oh, it is. And if you're just joining us, very new, those who've just followed, come in, said hi, rated, thank you for that. This is the final round of Season 7 of Tier 2, and we've got a championship bout between Andokat and Pepsi, P1 and P2, separated by 10 points. Andokat the leader. Mick, it's time!
It is. It most definitely is. Andokat, Pepsi are both arriving to their grid slots. The entire grid basically is already here. And we'll get things set up for the start of this race. And you can just see that all the cars just rolling in. And there goes Bully into his grid slot. We have 2, 3, 4, 5 red lights to end the season, the title decider, and they go out extremely quickly. It's lights out, and away we go. And Ando's gotten the best start he possibly could. Pepsi now actually coming under threat from Zay behind, but has that inside line for turn 1. He'll just slot into second place. Kalios just getting in between the 2 Red Bulls there of Zay and Mr. Spicer. All is good at the front of things, just holding them line astern, but there's a lot of movement at the back. Bandcamp already up 3 places. Saxa up 3 as well, and it's Mika and Nut going side by side into the first chicane, and it's 2 by 2 for those guys with the Alpine and Williams of Dalek and Nemo right in front of them. Lots of carnage at the back of things. Band's already up 4 places, but more importantly at the front of things, that is an incredible start for Andokat.
Very incredible indeed. Pepsi just about hanging on within half a second, using that slipstream just to get closer. He needs to stay in that DRS. He needs to make sure there is not a car between him and Andokat all race long. He's got to put the pressure on the championship leader, and he's putting pressure on himself. Look at that, little bit of a waggle. out of turn 9 through turn 10. That might have been a warning, Mick.
Well, here we
He's
go.
going for a
Pepsi has a look to the outside. He goes for it. Around the outside of turn 11, the two title contenders side by side. They bang wheels, and it's Pepsi getting in front, and Ando's around.
He didn't need to do that, Mick. He did not need to do that at all. I don't understand why he stuck his nose in there. All he needed was P2, and it could be worse. It could be so much worse for Ando. See, Pepsi's done it. But it's 27 laps to go, Mick. It's on now. It is on.
Ando, oh, lap 1 has been... It went from perfect to absolute disaster. The only thing is that it could be worse is if he was out of it just completely. But those tires, yeah, those softs are so hot at the moment. He needs to get them under control. But Pepsi now has a clear track ahead of him, and it's all on this man to do. Oh, he's run wide at turn 21. Ando really struggling at the moment. This is not good if you're an Aston Martin fan. If you're an Ando fan, this is absolute disaster.
He's got to be careful through turn 2 and 3. He cannot drop this at all. He needs to be so careful. Those tires will be screaming. You see him fighting a little bit, bouncing the steering wheel. Just holds on. And crucially, Mika down to P17 as well. I can't believe that, Mick. He didn't need to do that at all. And this is what we were talking about before. We were questioning his, racecraft, his strategy early on in the season. Why he stuck his nose in that corner into turn 13, I will never know.
Meanwhile, everything else that's going on, that's not for the drivers who are not fighting for the championship. Bandcamp up 6 places off the start, Seb. He's had an incredible start as well. And he's trying to make that 7. Mr. Spicer coming under a lot of pressure with that slipstream, a little slide there from the Dragon. Coming out of turn 9 into turn 10. Using that ERS. He wants this place, Seb. He's going. Is he close enough? No, not quite. As Psycho going around the outside of turn 11 on Kalios for the podium places.
He's a smart thinker, Ben. Leveled head, done this so long, at least 10 years. Yeah, he'll go for a dive when he sees it, when he needs to, but he understands this is lap 2, and I think Ando could potentially learn a thing or two from the great Jared.
Well, what will prevail, pace or experience? And I think at the moment, experience has prevailed. Ando unable to make up any places on this lap. Apollo Pepsi hasn't quite shaken off Zay yet, though. It's a yellow flag to McLaren around. That's not into the wall at the exit of turn 20. Unfortunate scenes for him. But with DRS enabled, things just got a lot more intense. I mean, the top 2 are well and truly away, but everybody else is on equal footing.
In the pits and has damage. I think this race could go in the theme of Tier 3, Mick. We could see a fair few incidents and see a mid-race safety car and a late-race safety car. That could really shake things up. And we have a crash already. Combat Rat
on the infield, trying the new line prematurely. Going through turns 5 and 6. He's down into 15th with a very hot set of tyres. It's Mr. Spicer. Drag race with Kalios down towards the braking zone of turn 8. As the inside line goes, the Red Bull, the Alpine driver, in the wrong team. But he's still a Mr. Spicer. And look at that, Bandcamp getting a decent exit. Jumping on board with the McLaren. Kalios, you can see he's gaining on the Rebel, but they all have DRS on Psycho in front, and he's going to be okay.
Sorry, Ando might be able to look at Nemo. He just doesn't have the straight line speed. This is the issue. We need to the back of this DRS train. Keep it now. Spinning through Sector 1. Yellow flag Sector 1 and 2. I think he's getting going though, but that's the danger of turn 3, and we'll see a lot of incidents there if drivers aren't careful. Bandcamp, unfortunately, left the session, so we'll have to get him back in.
Have to get him back in as soon as possible. He's done a lot of work over these first 3 laps, and he doesn't want it all undone in a blink of an eye.
Might help Ando, not sure though. Zay, and we haven't talked about him much, but he could help out either one of these title contenders right now. He's in the back pocket of Ando. Ando needs Zay to put a fight to Pepsi right about now.
Speaking of Ando, this is where he is. P12 at the moment. Still unable to get past this Alpine in this DRS train. I think he's just gotten his softs back under control. He's absolutely, basically, I completely matched his first sector time. He decides against it. The opportunity was there.
He had the run.
Yeah, slim tire advantage as well, but he's just going to use the ERS. But I think the Clownfish is a bit faster in a straight line, and he is. He's pulling away slightly.
He's got to set up a move into turn 11, Mick.
Ooh,
and Nemo going a bit deep. This is a chance. He's going to set him up nicely. Get a good run. Oh, Nemo can't decide what line he wants to take. And that's killed Andocat's run.
Yeah, he had to get out of the throttle, open up the wheel to avoid hitting the Alpine. As Bandcamp was getting back in the session, a little bit of a tangle between himself and Vassar. As Saxa and King J go side by side into turn 11. King J loses 2. Make that 3.
Oh, in contact with Nemo.
Yeah, that's not what you want to be seeing too much of. But I think both
needs
cars
to be
are
careful.
fine.
Yeah, he just needs to be careful. King J might have a slight damage here. Looked in a bit of sorts, but could also just be the tyres giving way, and this is a sign that the soft tyres are going. Andocat should undercut. He has to undercut here.
That's the play.
It's
That's
such a
your
bad
only.
position.
You have to play that card. Just get off
King
those
J's
softs
in.
early. King J's going in. That might be a sign that there was some front wing damage. I have to see if we have a Ted Kravitz in the pit lane. If you want to go down and have a little look, as we're just watching this fight for the final podium spot at the moment. Mr. Spicer, Kalios, Psycho, in that fight for third. As the front two, 5 seconds clear of these three.
Oh, Maker's had a spin. Turn 19, kept the car going. But crucially for Andocat, he is still kind of within reaches of P3. Now he needs P3 and a fastest lap if Pepsi was to finish P1. To be able to make sure Pepsi does not gain 10 points and only 9 points on the Aston Martin. Oh, a lot of racing to go, Mick, but it's not looking good for him.
Mr. Spicer and Psycho having a little duel in the desert. Oh, Spicer's lost it! Oh my goodness! But he manages to keep it out of the wall and the other oncoming cars. Great recovery there. But yeah, that's 2 lost places and some really worn tyres. I mean, at this stage, the softs, they aren't feeling great, Seb.
They are. 2 more laps and they'll be screaming, Mick. I'm surprised Andocat has not pitted. He's stuck behind this DRS train. He has to pit, Mick. He has to. Yellow flag, sector 1. Keeper again.
Yeah, the Mercedes struggling at turn 3. Just like Scarstowers did a few hours ago. Riding on board with the championship leader. Stuck in 11th place. What is the call from the Aston Martin garage? Psycho's in Kalios. There are a lot of competitors ahead of him, but it isn't Andocat. Ando isn't one of them. He's pushing so hard, Seb.
He's got to be the aggressor. He has to get in front of this train. The undercut is so big. With how much we're talking about the tyres and how they drop off, he has to go for it and he isn't.
Could this be the championship defining moment? We thought it was last week when Pepsi refused to pit for that fastest lap point to make the gap 8 instead of 10 going into this one after what was a dreadful Chinese Grand Prix for the Ferrari. And now we're probably seeing it again. This time roles are reversed. Andocat's refusing to pit to get in front of this traffic.
Oh, it's so key. He might be waiting out for a safety car, but honestly, I don't see any benefit of doing that. Oh, Pepsi had a snap. Out of turn 9, Mick. They's got to run.
Jumping on board with the Red Bull reserve. He's gaining. Pepsi has a lot of straight line speed in that Ferrari. The Ferrari power unit really working well around the outside as they go side by side through the chicane. A little squeeze from the Ferrari, but he manages to hold on to the place as Andocat finally gets past 1.
Oh, is he though? Not over yet. Yes, it is. It is over. Nemo gives way smartly.
That took him a long time.
Pepsi was not very agreeable through turn 12, was he?
No.
Straight across, that could have been disastrous for the Red Bull, but get the car in the right direction, just carried too little speed. That meant he wouldn't get spun around.
Red Bull going in for the undercut. Pepsi stays out as he starts lap 7 of 28. And as well into the pits, Keeper, who is now a lap down already.
He's staying out.
Is he? He's gone out again.
Andocat's staying out.
But he's now got some clean air, but I think the damage is done. Like, he's not going to get any benefit from this undercut.
He's going to lose out to those guys that just pit. He's not going to get DRS from them.
He needs to put in those qualifying laps, Seb. He needs to put in, like, just 2, like, this has to be a quali lap. A quali standard lap.
Well, he has gone half a tenth up through sector 1, but keep in mind, that is really only 1 corner. So, touch and go times for the Aston Martin driver.
Yeah, it's not looking great. Pepsi, I think, will be responding on this lap. And look at this, Nemo on those mediums. He's going to put Ando under pressure. Ando goes defensive to the
Oh!
inside. Oh, they've touched! Nemo turning it a bit too early and has to pay the price, unfortunately. Goes around, but it looks like the car's intact. And he's only lost 2 positions, so it isn't the end of the world.
I don't think Ando would have damage. I hope he doesn't. He's done the right thing there. He's pushed Nemo onto the curb and kept it tight so that Nemo would have a hard time pulling the car up into the corner. He hasn't pushed him too far over as well. But Nemo, as you said, just turned in a bit too early. Tried to push Ando over in the braking zone and just got caught on the tyres. And as the physics work in the game, spun him around. Ando has to pit this lap though. You'd assume the same with Pepsi. Pepsi is staying out. What's Andocat gonna do?
I mean, don't tell me he goes again.
He has to pit. He has to, and he is. Finally, some level heads prevailing. Oh, he nearly drops in the pit lane as well on the inside curb.
Yeah, we've seen Apollo Pepsi do that before, actually. A couple seasons ago in Tier 1. As Defiant also goes into the pit lane. So Pepsi is the last car remaining on his starting set of softs. Kalios fastest up of the race so far. Just keep an eye out on that timing tower. We'll see where Andocat emerges. Actually, we're right on board with the Aston Martin as he goes through the tunnel. He has lost tremendously.
It's massive. It's ridiculous. The idea that the fact he didn't pit, I don't get it. I really don't get it. You're fighting for a championship and you're out of position. First off, and second off, you're going to lose it if you stay behind this train, which he did not look like getting by in a hurry at all. What's the next option? You undercut them. So I don't understand why he was stuck behind him, and you know, I think there might have been someone in the voice call with him, surely to help him out and let him know that he needed to pit, but it's going to cost him dearly. Pepsi apparently is going for a one-stop, and this is very brave from Ferrari because all he has to do is match Zay. Oh, that's all he had to do.
He still needs to win the race, even if Ando has a shocking race, Pepsi still needs to win to have a decent shot. Because if Pepsi comes second, Ando only needs 6th. And that's very doable at the moment.
Is this no second? P6 you're talking about? Okay, I thought you were talking about points there.
Yeah, P6.
Yeah, you're right.
Which very doable with the pace that the Aston Martin has, the position he is right now. Very doable.
Actually, correction, Mikal. Andocat would need P5 because remember that 10 points, and the count back Pepsi would win if he was able to gain 10 points on Andocat and level out those points. Zay fastest lap right there. Pepsi is really committing to this one stop. Very confused by it, but this could pay off. He's going very conservative, and to be honest, I don't blame him with where Andocat is in this race at the moment.
I mean, the threat is Zay, but he's behind another red Ferrari. But I don't think there's going to be much holding up, especially down towards turn 8.
Well, he's done a good job, Bully, just to cut off Zay's run. Zay will have to work just a little bit harder.
As much as I would have thought.
Yeah, yes, has to work a little bit harder for the move, doesn't he?
Yeah.
And he'll be trying to set this up into turn 11. Bully's gone deep. This is the opportunity. Little switch back.
Oh, there you go.
Get a great run. This is easy. Oh, Bully's he's not giving up. He's got plenty of ERS to go as well.
He's using all of it. He's using all of it, Seb. The drag race between the two, even with DRS, is still going to be close. Around the outside, Bully defends it hard. Going through the Mickey Mouse, and Zay's lost it. They've come together. And Bully's been forced to cut turn 13. But the Ferrari stays ahead. But for how much longer?
Bit of damage, I'd assume, Mick. Bit of damage to Bully. Maybe Zay as well. Zay on that curb. Bully deserves to keep that spot. But just with how that car would be handling with what I believe would be floor damage, I don't think he can hold on. He has to pit now.
Yeah, it's, I mean, Bully just trying to release his inner Checo Perez through that final sector. And he put up a valiant effort to try and help Pepsi out as much as he can. That is 2 seconds, 2 seconds slower than his personal best.
A great sacrifice from Bully to give up his race. You know, he hasn't had a great season. He had a good. Oh, he's going to drop it. And he might have just been it. He has. He might have just put out a safety car.
That might be a safety car. If that is a safety car.
He should have pit.
It is. It's a safety car.
He should have pit with the floor damage and he didn't. Another blunder from the strategy team. This time Ferrari.
Actually, I don't think this is too bad because Pepsi, easy one stop from here. Mediums will make it with the safety car laps.
And they definitely will. The mediums will last about, I think, from where I was getting in my race, they'll last 20 laps to 60%. So they got plenty of life for them. Now the pace will die off at the end, but I don't think
He
it'll
just needs
affect
track
Pepsi. He'll have
position.
He just needs track position. And I think with Zay having side pod damage, which he has reported in chat, right there, Zane Bernays, or Bernays, sorry. Sorry if I botched that, Zay, but he has got side pod damage. It does give Ando a bunched up feel, but with the way the
He's got a
struggles
lot of work
Ando
to
is
do.
having, he's got a lot of work. Got so much work. If I was Ando, I almost go to the one stop here. And if there is a late safety car, you pit then, but you don't pit
Yeah,
another
you
time.
have
You
to
pit
stay
now.
out. You have to stay out now. It's your only play.
Exactly.
Actually, I
Those
think
tires will be.
Pepsi might just have the pit stop gap to Zay. It's about
And he
17,
might.
18 seconds.
And plus the pit lane as well. But don't forget Zay, once he crosses that start finish line, can go full throttle. It's gonna be tight. I think Zay will have him.
Oh, slow stop from the Ferrari. Zay's come in as well. They've all come in.
Oh,
Pepsi's going to be P1 on fresh mediums going to the end of the race. Literally the best possible spot you can be in for the Ferrari.
and Cat has stayed out. He's done the wise thing. He'll get some cars here, 2 cars. He'll have 2
Make that
Haas's, a
3
Williams,
cars.
and the Ferrari. He's P5.
Oh, he needs to juice to make sure he beats Saxon out of the pits.
Oh,
that
he might
was-
have just done it.
That was too close. I don't know why he didn't use any ERS.
Oh, not thinking clearly. Pressure's getting to him.
Yep, absolutely. I mean, it's really, really affecting him. I mean, he fought so hard that first lap, and that's what cost him. He could have just slotted right behind Pepsi, stay second place, leapfrog back and forth, and then he would have been the champion, the champion, just like that.
Just a reminder. Pepsi needs to gain 10 points on Endocat to become the champion on countback. That'd be equal on points then. If Endocat is able to make sure Pepsi does not outscore him by 9 or less points, then he is a champion. Equation is, as it stands right now, I believe Zay has the fastest lap.
Yes.
Pepsi would be winning the championship by 5 points, as it stands right now.
Actually, no, Andocat has the fastest lap, correction. A 38.4.
38.4. So 4 points. This is big. And keep in mind, we still have a lot of racing to go.
I have no idea.
It's been up and down. I have no clue either. I mean, this is the mid-race safety car I was talking about, but it's a bit earlier than mid-race, so a few more accidents. You know, we got Zay with side pod damage, Bully's out with that floor damage, and there'll be other drivers that definitely do have damage to their cars that is non-repairable in the pit lane. There could be chances of 2 safety cars here, Mick. I would not be surprised, but with the way Tier 1, Tier 3 have gone, I see max of 2 reasonably coming out, and this is one of them.
Yep. And it's really starting to heat up. Psycho. A little bit of an issue. Turn 20 on the safety cars, lost a few positions, down to 13.
And keep in mind, Mick, we do have one teammate of the 2 championship contenders in this race. And are we going past the safety car now? I think we are.
What?
We are going around the safety car. It glitched and teleported behind Pepsi. That makes sense. Okay.
Well, I'm glad it did that and didn't just straight DSQ him.
Yeah, I honestly think if that were to happen, we should have a restart and we do 25% race. Because to lose a championship that way would be absolutely crazy.
It's like, what do you do?
You can't do anything. You can't do anything.
So, here's the situation. Pepsi, fresh mediums, leading the race, well and truly in control. Kalios, Daylight, Kinjay separate the 2 title contenders at the moment on, I wouldn't say old mediums or worn mediums, but they ain't fresh.
Yeah. Not fresh at all. but I think they can last. Now the key is for these drivers is not to absolutely kill their tires, because they can still catch up to the safety car. They need to kind of look after them if they're going to the end, which they can. Very much can, and is almost the right play from here on out. Apparently Psycho alt-tabbed. Why has he done that?
Well, that would explain the safety car, and that would also explain him losing a few positions.
If he's the host, he shouldn't do that. It's not the first time that's happened. Unless there was some issue with audio or something.
Not 100% sure. He's approaching the safety car now. So we should be green at the end of this lap regardless, I think. The safety car's been out for a fair while.
Yeah. I think Keeper could still potentially catch up, as long as he doesn't spin.
Really? I mean, 40 seconds, that's a lot of time to gain in half a lap.
I think he can, with how slow this safety car goes through that last sector, and especially when, you know, safety car comes in, you bunch up the pack. I think he can. I think Keeper can be back in this race.
With worn softs, but yep, he's alive and well.
He's on the back of the...
He's on the lead lap, that's the important thing. He's on the lead lap now. He was a lap down after lap 7, after having 2 spins at turn 3, so that's good. I'm glad he's back on the lead lap. I'm very happy about that. That's probably why he didn't pit. Smart of him. Very smart.
So smart. The best starter has become the best strategist. Maybe Pepsi and Ando could get a bit of help from him.
Maybe they need Big Al and T-Mac on the pit wall next season.
Yeah.
The Big Mac representing Mercedes for the season come and gone now.
It'll be a late call, but it will come in. Unless that alt tabbing has completely reset the
counter,
yeah.
They might just wait for Keeper. I think they're waiting for Keeper.
Wow. So we're gonna have, we'll tick over to lap 14. That means we'll have exactly 14 laps. Yeah, we restart lap 15. We'll have exactly 14 laps to go.
And while that isn't impossible, like that's pretty comfortable on the mediums, they still hit that cliff, I think, at the very end.
They will, and keep in mind that the tires, the cliff is around 40% wear on each tire set, the softs and the mediums. It means you get a little bit more, maybe extra 5%, but it's not a lot. So these tires will be getting to that 60% mark, and we could be seeing some cars swap in through a certain number of these corners, Mick. One of them being turn 3.
Mr. Spicer needing a new front wing. Not sure what happened, but he needs a new front wing. Luckily, he does have the gap. Putting on a scrub set of mediums, 5 laps old. I mean, fresh softs, honestly, like, could they? No.
No. They would last, but there's really no point. You're fast for about 2/5 of your stint of these 14 laps remaining, but the other 3/5 you're dead slow. Go into mediums. See out the rest of the race. Why are you making
me do maths? Why are you making me do maths? Just say 5 laps. Come on.
I'm saying 2/5 because that's what came in my mind, and I couldn't do the maths, Mikhail.
Okay,
14 laps is you cannot divide.
Yeah, make me do the maths instead of you. I see how it is.
Yeah, you are smarter than me, I think, in the books.
We'll see. I don't know about that. But
safety car in this lap.
Yeah, the safety car will definitely be in this lap. There we go. The official call from race control.
Oh, just accidentally hit the Windows button.
Well, let's hope Apollo Pepsi doesn't do that. Or Psycho, because that'll teleport the safety car back again.
Or Anocat. Quick check. Apollo Pepsi, 1 warning to his name. Don't know what it's for. I believe that would be contact with Andocat at turn 13. Andocat, no warnings to his name. So pretty much, I believe, a clean slate for the 2 championship leaders. P1, P5, as it stands, Pepsi wins the championship by 5 points. Actually, no, sorry, 4 points. Andocat's fastest lap, gotta remember that.
He wins it by 4 points. Yeah, Ando still has that fastest lap. Remember that fastest lap, 4.52. With Keeper going on fresh softs at the end, definitely under threat. Even despite the raw pace gap, like, it's still a possibility. The safety car now in the pit lane. Pepsi's gone. And it's a pretty decent restart. 6.5 tenths, Seb. That's a pretty good gap. How's it looking for Andocat down in 5th?
Oh, he's just off. He's actually fallen off the back of King J, and King J's falling off the back of Dalek. Oh, tough times. He's got to make something work here, Andocat. The thing he does have going for them is the 3 guys in front of him, between him and Pepsi and Glory, are all on older medium tyres. So if we don't have a safety car, this could come into effect later on in the race.
Another decent restart for both Dalek and Zay. Really close towards Kalios and Vasa, respectively. Well, actually a jump on board with Bandcamp. This goes around, well, up the inside of the Mercedes of Defiant. Combarat going to be very close on that Mercedes rear wing. But a bit further down. Very close going into turn 8. Currently on board with Psycho, 2 and a bit tenths. All these guys, nice and stable. Defiant going a bit deep at turn 8. Combarat getting a bit out of shape. This could be the move for Psycho as Dalek and Kalios have an exchange. Going into the Mickey Mouse section at the start of the final sector. Psycho has a little look up the inside. Combarat defends it hard to the inside. But no moves just yet for either of those drivers down in 11th and 12th. Pepsi 1.7. He's doing what he needs to. The Ferrari is doing everything in his power to make sure that he can take this championship here tonight, Seb. And
everything possible.
He's finally caught up to King J. This could very easily be a move.
Got to go for it into turn 5, Mick. Has to. Gives him a lap and a half, to be honest, just a lap. Just a lap to be able to try and get DRS of Kalios and then get in that train for P2.
Oh, he's not close enough. He's not using the tyres as much as he probably needs to at the moment. Down into turn 5, a little lock at the front. We have a virtual.
Oh. Keeper must have had some damage somewhere.
Yeah. Lots of debris on the track potentially, but that is a virtual safety car here on lap 16.
This could help out either one of Pepsi or Endocat. A little bit of luck their way when this VSC goes to green again. Very much play in favour of either one of these drivers. Just a quick thing, previous lap, Combat Rat with some great defensive manoeuvres on Psycho. It is so hard to go around the outside of turn 11 in a dive and then still have track position into turn 12 on the inside. It's too hard, so smart thinking from the Williams driver.
Yeah, great defense from the Williams. Virtual safety car still out as all the drivers to watch for. Enter the 3rd sector. It's a fairly long virtual safety car. They're just all itching, waiting to go. The tires getting a bit cold, and the cars are also getting a bit heavy, Seb, at the moment.
Just a little bit. They're not dumping that fuel. It's not a lot of timers. Green flag. There we go. I think Pepsi might have gained from this.
As is Ando. Ando's in DRS range of King J. King J losing out.
He's not as close as he was, though. Mick, he wasn't as close as he was.
DRS now enabled as we start lap 17 of 28. 12 laps to go.
I'll tell you what, Mick, what it's also done is it's taken a lap out of Andocat's race to be able to get to P2.
I mean, if he holds on to that fastest lap, he
needs P3 though, Mick, and he's 2 positions off it.
Yep, I think at this point, like, you still have plenty of time. There's still laps to go, but there's a little bit of angst in the back of your mind if you're the Aston Martin driver. But easy move on King J into turn 8, and now he just needs to make sure he stays ahead going into turn 11.
He can't get complacent. He has to stay ahead into turn 11, as you're right. And not only that, he needs to get in front of Kalios, and he needs to get in front of Dalek. He cannot leave this to a fastest lap out when there are, I don't know, another 16 drivers behind him who could steal it.
Yep. All it takes is one crash for one of the back markers. Hit for fresh softs. And that could be championship over. It's coming down to that, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even remember the title deciders here in AFR history being this close. I guess they went down to the final races, but I don't remember it being this close.
Season 5 was as close as it got, to be honest with you, Mick.
Yeah, that titanic battle between Fotsy and Dabbery.
This is building up quite, I think, a lot nicer than what Season 5 was.
Oh, and Cat faster yet again, 38.3. 5/10 off of Kalios. He is gaining so quickly. They might do it with a couple laps to spare, Seb, at this rate.
He might. He's got to keep level head about him. Just don't use any ERS down this first ERS straight. Just be cautious, save some ERS, then go for it on the second ERS straight. Make sure you get that move solidified, then you can get onto Dalek ahead.
Meanwhile, at the back of things, Mr. Spicer and Nut having a bit of an exchange going through turn 3. The Red Bull getting ahead of the McLaren. And there we go, Kalios getting overtaken by Andokat. Into this turn, a little lock up, but Ando, he's nailed that chicane.
It's not over yet. Kalios does not want to give this up, but he's using ERS, but I don't think he's close enough. We could still see a run though.
Gap. Oh, but the closing speed. He's closing. He turned off the ERS.
Oh.
He doesn't go for it.
I think that's wise. In the context of the race, 10.5 laps ago, no point going for that dive.
Oh, another virtual. Wow. What's this for this time? Is Keeper missing his front wing? No?
I don't know. It might be a bit... Someone might have lost wings along the way in a battle. And it might have fallen on the track, and that's why we have another VSC. But I am, without a doubt, expecting another safety car later on this race. If we just had a VSC 10 laps ago...
Dalek's pitting! Dalek is pitting! Ando is in third! Sorry. Ando is in position!
Pitting as well.
Kalios into the pits. They're using this virtual safety car. Wow.
Now Zay is in a position, don't forget his side pod damage though. Combo at 5 seconds, speeding in the pit lane, unfortunate for him. But Zay could be a factor if those tyres of Andokat die off. And Zay is able to deal with that side pod damage and not lose too much speed down that straight. The two big straights and that run from 14 to 17. Oh, we still got a championship on our hands, but as it stands at the moment, Andokat will win the championship.
I mean, he could also get impatient, like we saw at lap 1. I hope it doesn't come to that though. A couple of drive-throughs down the field, or just, well, I say a couple, just one. It's the fight. Down in 15th. But though we have two pretty fast drivers on fresh softs, they will very easily, I think, take that fastest lap point away. As Mr. Spicer dropping out of the points. Dalek up into 10th. Not getting very close to the back of that Red Bull as well under braking.
Right now, Ando leads the championship by 4 points. He's got that lead on Pepsi with that 7-point difference, minus 1 point for a fast lap to Andokat. That will disappear most likely with Defiant Diz and Combat Route on soft tyres and become a 3-point difference.
Lap 19 of 28. I think at this rate, Pepsi needs a safety car to win this championship.
Oh, does he ever? Oh, Zay, a bit of a snap. Sorry, I'm just on board with Zay. Through turn 20, had a bit of snap. He had a snap out of 21 as well. Very antsy from the Red Bull. Wants to get a move on, and he is gaining, but I don't think it's enough to be able to get Andokat by the end of the race. But it is all to be seen, isn't it? And always hit the inside curve, Mick. Oh my goodness. Zay is living on the edge.
Yeah, unfortunately, living on the edge in this game is costing you time. He's dropped about a 10th and a half to Andokat in the past lap. Good effort considering the side pod damage he's carrying, but not what you want to be doing. Saxa, DRS now. Going down towards turn 8. Bandcamp following him. The closing speed quite great. Saxa has a little look. Opts to stay behind for the time being. Dalek getting past Mika for 8th place as well. The
Mick,
AFR.
it was worth having a look down the inside into turn 8 because it could have set up the move into turn 11 and just make Zay offline through turn 9 and 10. Could have easily set up the move.
Zay is out of battery now. It's only a matter of time. Bandcamp as well, right with them. So Zay might potentially lose 2 places in one go. I think that gap has come down a little bit between our 2 leaders as well, if only slightly.
I think it's actually grown. It was 6.1, it's growing to 6.7 now. 6.8, what's happened to Andocat?
I think Ando's just cruising. Pepsi,
I think he has
lap.
to.
138.0.
This might come into play now, having that teammate Mika could win the championship. If Andocat is unable to hold on to P2, Zay gets him. It's building, Mick. Is it ever?
Yeah, but you know, the race doesn't just have 2 cars. We have 17 left, and the race isn't over for all these guys as well. Kalios, Combat Rat, fastest lap, 37.5.
I don't see Pepsi and Andocat being that unless they have full battery reserves. So
no, not on these tires. Even with the full battery, they won't. We're just running.
So what's the difference? 7/10, 37.5 versus 38.2, was it? Maybe. It's unlikely, but
I mean, you got to really risk putting it in the wall for that.
Oh well, I think if you're Andocat and Pepsi and you're in the position to lose a championship, why not? Why not? You got nothing to lose, man. Go for it.
Speaking of losing, Mika's just lost 2 places. Going into turn 8, we're riding on board with the Hearts of Kalios at the moment as Saxa gets past Zay for that final podium place. And Mika getting a bit out of shape on those older mediums. Kalios' fresh mediums fired up. As Dalek also getting past Nemo in a similar fashion into turn 11. Kalios inside of Mr. Spicer into turn 11. And the fresh mediums showing that they have a lot of speed at the moment. Another virtual. This has to be a bug.
Could this kit upgraded?
This has to be a bug.
I don't see any damage anywhere on any car. I'm looking around, I don't see it. I think you're right. It might just be a bug.
Well, Saxa, Zay into the pit lane. Bandcamp stays out, takes that podium place.
Bit of relief to Andocat there.
Zay fresh softs, Saxa fresh softs. Oh, if there's a safety car after, like, a lap after this could be really big.
Could still come out, Mick. Don't count it out.
Still a few laps, yeah. Things looking pretty good for Andocat at the moment.
It's just got to come out on lap 25. Oh, it's got to come out on lap 25 so we can have 2 laps of green flag racing. What did I think Jonathan Wheatley say? All we need is 1 lap. All we need is 2 laps here in F1 2021 by Codemasters.
Oh, a couple of drive-through. And I just won this time again, but Saxa, drive-through penalty in 9th place. Bit of a speeding ticket. And Zay right on his rear wing, his gearbox. The 2 Honda power units going down towards turn 8. Saxa fighting that a little bit though. Keeps his nose in. Through turn 9 as they come over the crest. Oh, the Red Bulls getting out of shape. This is going to open the door not just for Saxa, but King J and Combat Rat as well, maybe. Does King J have a look?
Go for a lunge.
No, he backs out of it. But Combat goes for a lunge. Oh my goodness me. Has to cut the corner to avoid running into the Haas.
I don't think he was expecting that much checkup. I don't think he was actually going for it. I think he was just being cautious, having a look down the inside. And then all of a sudden they check up. And he had to go take evasive action to the inside of the corner. Glad there was no contact though. But I'm not sure Pepsi's too glad about that. Well, we're going to figure out who is in Latifi's car. Oh, I believe it is Combat Rat.
Yeah, it is Combat actually. Into the pits goes Saxa to serve that drive-through. I mean, with a dive like that, I mean, anything's possible. Oh, I'm getting a bit nervous, Sip.
Oh, it's getting to that time, Mick, now. Those tyres are, let me think about it, 2 to 3%. Oh, they're nearing on it. They're at that, they're just about that 40% mark, I think, Mick. Ando is at least.
Band's
Mr.
also
Spicer as
gaining.
well. Oh, hairy
think-
stuff.
Yeah, with all of the slips and slides that Ando's been through on that set, and the age difference, it's only for a few laps. But Band is gaining. Is he? I don't think he's gaining enough, but... Oh, Pepsi! Pepsi's in the grass! Out of turn 14! Andocat coming through turn 14, now he can see the Ferrari over the grass! He's cracked! He's cracked, Seb! Ando in the lead of this race!
It's the third time in 3 successive races, Pepsi's dropped it. He's dropped it when he doesn't need to. He's pushed too hard. He's had a lapse in concentration, Mick. And that could all be championship over. But don't forget, Ando Cat's tyres. They could go on him through turn 3, and that's the danger zone. Pepsi now pitting for soft tyres.
Yep, Pepsi into the pit lane. Oh, man. Oh, it's a front wing replacement too. It's a front wing replacement, Seb.
Oh my god.
Wow.
He's done it to himself as well, leading the championship the whole way through. Till the final round. To be fair, this race wasn't necessarily about the best job he could do. It was about having Andocat kind of bum out, and Andocat did bum out. He had a big mistake. Stuck a nose where it didn't belong. Now Pepsi. A lapse in concentration. And he's down in P13.
That's it. But that's not it for the racing though.
It's
Mika,
not over. No, don't say that. Do not say that, Mick. Do not say that. Do not say it's over yet. We still got 4 laps.
It's looking pretty
4.5
dire.
laps.
It's looking very dire at the moment. But King J getting past Mika. Mika struggling on those tires. Combat Rat going a bit wide at turn 9. Using the ERS, he's got so much speed with that Williams car to the inside for turn 11. Oh, Mika's fighting though. They're side by side going through the chicane sequence. Mika has to yield. Those softs just too much at the moment. Too much.
Way too much for what I believe is 14 lap old mediums, not 13. 14 lap old mediums. Mika will be feeling it. Oh, is he ever? Big one, Combat
Combat round
He's
too.
not in sympathy.
Wow. But he hasn't hit the wall. And he hasn't lost a wheel.
He hasn't crashed out.
We're okay.
And this is the final lap where we can get a safety car, Mick.
With
It's got to come this lap,
softs,
otherwise
yeah.
Pepsi will not have any chance.
That is well and truly I mean, he's got like a 0.5% chance of taking it right now.
I'd say less. 0.01.
Saxa not having a drag race going down into turn 1. The AlphaTauri going clean. Oh, not cleanly around the outside. Not going around. A little bit of a tap between the two. Unfortunate. You can see some Ferrari front wing as well. That'd be bullies from his crash. And that's the final safety car. That's a virtual for that spin.
Quite remarkable. Oh my god. And question is, I'm going to put to you, Mick. If you're Andocat, this VSC stays out, do you pit? Because do you think about it, Pepsi's not going to get those points unless there is a big pile-up. Does he play it really safe, but almost too safe that he could fall behind Pepsi and Pepsi could get those 10 points on him? Think about it, Andocat, 17 lap all mediums.
I think you just take the podium.
I think so as well.
Not worth risking.
You don't even
want to
need
risk
to.
speeding into the pit lane. You don't want to risk hitting the wall, exiting the pit lane. You don't want to risk hitting someone as you exit the pit lane, going side by side through that sequence. There's too much risk. Way too much risk, and yeah, Andocat just stayed out.
Oh, smart decision. I hope he takes it dead easy through turn 3. Kalios drive through.
Yeah.
Penalty.
And it will promote Nemo up into 4th. With only a few laps to go.
Could we see a Dragon win here? I think we should.
Certainly
Dragon
possible.
wins. It is still very possible. I don't think Andocat should really be putting up too much of a fight if Bandcamp does inevitably catch up.
I mean, we talked about it in qualifying. We mentioned the 97 title decider. You know, just do what Villeneuve did. Just nice and easy. If they catch you, just let them go. You're in position.
Oh, yellow flag sector 1 and 2. Just now for Towery.
Saxa.
Looks like Saxa. Yeah.
Trying an alternative line. It's the two Red Bulls exchange. Mr. Spicer losing out to Zay as Pepsi will get 2 in 1. Going down into turn 8. Back up into the points as the Ferrari, but yep.
Such disappointment, such agony for the Ferrari driver.
Oh, a drag race
We
between
keep
Spicer
saying
and King J. Sorry, Seb. They're going side by side into the Mickey Mouse section. Mr. Spicer just able to hold on. King J using those really fresh, like those 10 lap fresher medium tires, putting Mr. Spicer under a lot of pressure at the moment. The championship might be basically over, but the race certainly isn't, Seb.
Oh, nothing's over yet, Mick. Hey, you keep saying that. Are you touching wood while you're saying this?
Yes, I am. I am.
Okay. Just making sure.
It's okay. It's okay. 2.4 the gap between Anocat and Bandcamp at the front of things. Currently watching the closest gap on this grid. The fight for 7th between King J and Mr. Spicer. Hooey! The grid's starting to spread out a fair bit as with only a couple laps left in the season. Yellow flags as Mika goes around at turn 2. Just drop it down into 13th. But no more safety cars for the rest of the race. There's only a couple laps to go. King J, I think is well and truly going to make the move. And Pepsi might get both of them just like he did the lap prior. Just showing the speed that he does indeed have in the cockpit of that car. Spicer fights it. Through turn 8, a little bit of banging wheels there as well, but the grip difference is just astronomical, Seb. I mean, it's a no contest.
Straight line. Look at that straight line speed as well. This could be fastest lap, yeah. Up 5/10. Should be.
That would be a consolation point, would it not?
I think it's an insult to Pepsi, considering where he was this season. As we keep saying, leading the whole way through till the final round.
Yep.
And the past 3 rounds, he has spun when he has not needed to. Could have kept it clean, he hasn't. Lost focus, pushed too hard, got a bit greedy. And
Well, speaking of,
it's gonna pay
Dalek's
for
actually
it.
gotten past Band.
He has.
And Kalios has been disqualified for not serving his drive-through. So that's a free position for everybody. Mr. Spice is out. What is he done?
Dropped it second last corner.
That Red Bull is blocking the pit entry. Wow.
Not that anyone will be pitting unless they got
No.
a drive through, but you know, Kalios.
Well, Kalios did, and he so decided not to. So
Pepsi's got Nemo in his sights, and I think he'll get this move done well before turn 8. He'll get it done before DRS activation, Mick. But it's all eyes to one man. And Aston Martin, that green Aston Martin,
number
started the
34.
season. Number 34, the New South Welshman. Bit of Vietnamese background as well. Started off the season with a retirement, very disappointing retirement in Bahrain, looking at a top 3. First points next round, Spain, P9. 4 podiums in a row, first win at Baku. Had a bit of a dry spell, 2 P9s, P7, P5, P4. Then this beautiful run. Beautiful run.
The new year. Basically was the new year, wasn't it?
9 wins, 2 P2s since Belgium, since the midway point. It's pure ecstasy for Endocat, Mick.
Well, it's going to be a bit more than that. As the fireworks come around, it's Anocat who will take the checkered flag first. And he is your AFR Season 7 Tier 2 champion. And caps it all off with yet another race win here this evening. The full 25 points for Anocat. What a drive. What a performance from the Aston Martin. Dalek comes across in P2. For Williams on that podium, and Bandcamp rounds out the final podium of the season. Zay 4th, Polo Pepsi 5th, Nemo in 6th, King J 7th, Psycho in 8th, Vassa 9th, and Combat Rat will round up the points for this final race. Defiant will finish the race in 11th, Saxa 12th, Mika 13th, Keeper 14th after penalties, and Nut in 15th.
They want interviews with Ando. And
I mean, we didn't get interviews with any of the other drivers' champions. So that'd be a bit unfair on yourself.
It'd be quite unfair.
Potsy. But
I don't really mind, but if Ando wants to do it, he can. I don't mind if you don't mind.
I don't have anything against it, but I do have to be off fairly soon.
That's fine. I will just say it's credits to Ando, but heart goes out to Pepsi right now. No, it was his fault, and he has completely thrown this. But when it was yours to win, and it goes away like that, that would hurt quite a lot.
You feel you just feel his heart sink at that moment, at that spin.
Not even heart sinking. It's just there's a heart in your chest, man. Someone's taken it, ripped it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all self-inflicted.
Yeah, but I think, I mean, with the form that Ando's had, I mean, the first driver to get 4 race wins in a row since Revo in season, it'd be season 4 actually, because he didn't win 4 in a row in season 5, I don't think. Maybe, I don't know. I have to fact check that, but it is Andocat taking the race win and the championship along as well. Dalek and Bandcamp round out the podium. Zay in 4th, Pepsi in 5th with the fastest lap of 1:36.9. Nemo in 6th for Alpine, King J in 7th, Psycho in 8th, Vass in 9th, and Combat Rat rounds out the top 10. Defiant, Saxa, Mika, Nut, and Keeper out of the points. Unfortunate for Mr. Spicer, Bully, and Kalios. Were unable to finish this one. What a race. What a season. What a season it's been. I mean, it had everything. Across all the tiers. First time that AFR's run 3 tiers. I mean, like, you had close battles. It's been the closest season that we've ever seen here in AFR. And that has really, really been good to see.
Just about almost all tiers has been neck and neck racing and very close. Victors for all 3. We got our Constructors champions. I believe our combined Constructors champions are the Williams boys. So shout out to them. But we have 1 week break, Mick, and then I think we're back into it for Season 8, the shortened season before we have F1 2022 released mid-year.
Yes, if you want to stay up to date with all information about Season 8 of AFR, and if you want to participate in AFR Season 8, Discord is in the bio down below. Join that, and the admins will get you set up in no time, and you'll be able to stay up to date with all things AFR related. But unfortunately for us over here on stream, that is going to be it, at least for a week. I mean, it's been a wild ride, so it really has. Ups and downs, both in the cars and here in the comms box. I mean, it's really a historic moment, a changing moment, if you will, for us here at Aussie Formula Racing. But until then, it's going to be goodbye for now. My name has been Mikhail. Joining me has been Seb. We have been your commentators for Tier 2. You were joined by Baitmate, Bandcamp in Tier 3, as well as Kunai, Psycho, and Gus, all filling in for the Tier 1 broadcast. We hope you've thoroughly enjoyed this season. Seb, you have some last words?
Can't forget Trin and T-Mac's little cameo when you had to take leave.
Yep. Yes, yeah, the Trin and T-Mac as well here in Tier 2. Can't forget about those two. They'd kill me. But yeah, absolutely. From all of us here at Aussie Formula Racing, we hope you have enjoyed the season, and we will see you in the new season, Season 8, for the second iteration of AFR on F1 2021. Bye for now, and always remember to wear your seatbelt.
Ciao, ciao.